Hi, everybody. Todd Nash, Senate District 29. Um, 54 days left until Oregonians are safe. That's what the chalkboard says downstairs, and we're looking forward to session being over. Uh, we have some things that are damaging from time to time, and we try to provide as many positive bills as we can out of this office to enhance people's lives, but we have some challenges down here. I want to go over some of the positive things right off the bat, though. Senate Bill 777, you've heard me talk about it a number of times. That's going to have a work session on Monday, and um, look forward to that and it going out to the House floor and then on to the governor's office after that. Um, we passed. We had a work session on the Walla Walla Water Basin Bill, 761, and that's on its way. Should be going to the House floor here before long. I want to talk about a few of the things that are in Ways and Means. And next week, next Wednesday, we're going to get a revenue forecast for Oregon. So we'll have a better look at what might be funded, what might be scrapped off of the list, and so we have sent a number of bills down to Ways and Means, and I wanted to kind of recap some of those. Senate Bill 771, that's the rodeo bill that would allow these local rodeos to apply for grants up to $250,000. That's hanging out down there. Um, we've heard good things about that, but we'll keep an eye on that. And if those of you that are interested in that bill, I would encourage you to get a hold of the legislators that are on Ways and Means and tell them that you're interested in that and what that would mean to your community. The Agri-Stress Helpline, that bill 779 is down there, and we think that it is in a good place and has a very good shot at getting funded and getting that in an endowment to where we never have to go back for funding again. It has a guaranteed 4% interest rate, and we have a good shot at getting that. Um, there's a one for fair funding that would lift the cap off the 1% of video lottery that would go to each county fair, giving each county fair somewhere around $250,000 a year. That's Senate Bill 780. That one's down there in Ways and Means as well. We think we have a really good shot at that, and I'm really thankful for all the work that's been done, the people that are dedicated to making sure that that gets across the finish line. It really has some positive momentum as well. Um, the dual credit program, it had a work session in the House, and again, Chief of Staff Jake, he did a wonderful job getting the bill drafted. He's been there for every one of the hearings. He's provided testimony, and we're on our way with that one. Um, let's see. Um, we have we have a companion bill with 777, and that's the Wolf Comp bill that asked for $2 million, also down to Ways and Means, and that bill is 985. If we don't have money for Wolf Comp isn't going to do us much good, and so we need to, in the long term, figure out a way to fund wolf compensation. And if any of you guys have some ideas how we do that into the future, it isn't sustainable coming to the legislature every 2 years and wondering if we're going to get funding and how much. Um, Keeping track of wolves over the years, it costs somewhere around $10,000 a year per wolf in Oregon to provide compensation back. And so now here we are, we're 200 wolves. We're asking for $2 million. That's for the biennium. We also have some matching funds that come by way of some federal funding. And hopefully we get through 2 years with the dollars combined with what we get from the state, the federal dollars, and some of those monies through a nonprofit, Western Landowners Alliance, that have been great partners in this endeavor. So, but if you guys can figure out a mechanism for coming up with $10,000 per wolf per year, that's kind of where we're at. If that's where Oregonians want to spend their money, it's not where I want to spend mine, but that's where we're at, folks. And I don't mean to make light of this. It has been an incredibly tough couple of weeks in Wallowa County. I think there's been 18 depredations in 10 days, something like that. A lot of those guys are wore out. The people from the agencies, Wildlife Services, ODF and W, have been pretty aggressive in this fight. The farmers and ranchers that have been trying to protect their livestock, and all the neighbors that fell in to help out their fellow ranchers. Thank you all. Thank you all for making the best of a really, really bad situation. Compensation is one component of it, and I've said it before, time and again, and everybody would agree with me that owns livestock. I think that if we had the choice of better control or no compensation, we'd take better control, but this is where we're at right now. The brand fee, and so there is a small fiscal attached to the brand program, and that's Senate Bill 1019. That's down there in Ways and Means as well, and we have every reason to believe that that'll be funded as well. Senate Bill 1061, and that's the lumber grading bill. That's going to have a hearing over on the House side on Monday. I'm really excited about that. We think that that's going to get out of committee. Representative Levy signed on to that bill when she could. Really proud of all the work that's been done by so many, and glad to see that still continuing on. We still continue to get some pushback, mostly from out-of-state forces at this point. But who would ever thought that you guys that own wood misers and little sawmills would be such a threat to industry? But we've had a little pushback on that, and it's a good thing for Senate District 29. It's a good thing for Oregon, and that's what matters. That's the kind of policies I like to push forward. We had a really challenging bill come up this week in the Natural Resource Committee, and it would ban trapping of beavers on impaired stretches of waterways in Oregon. And that sounds a little lofty. There's impaired stretches of waterway that don't necessarily look impaired. There's about 12 criteria, and any one of those criteria can trigger a stream into being impaired. Having a roadway along it, having some old logging that had taken place there, having some invasive grasses, a number of things cause it to be impaired. And so it makes it sound like it's depleted of something, but some of them look pretty darn healthy. Most of us would like to see recruitment of beavers back into the headwaters of some of these places that they could really do some good in some meadows. Most of us know also that beavers tend to be right out next to the highways and next to houses where there's fewer predators to take them out. And so this bill had a hearing. It had a work session scheduled for today. I have suggested that we bring in the trappers and make them partners on recruitment of beavers in those areas that we want to see recruitment of beavers in. Nobody knows the species better than the trappers. We take a look at the areas there and why beavers aren't there, and kind of look at, do they have dam building material? Do they have materials to forage on? What does the waterway look like? Is the predator situation such that They just can't survive there. And so I think we need to take all of those things into account, really utilize those individuals that know the species better than anybody. We've had stretches of waterways that have been shut down to beaver trapping for over 60 years, and we still don't have recruitment of beavers. Just stopping trapping doesn't get it done. And so, if we truly want to see recruitment of beavers back into those headwaters of some of those places that we want to see water spread out and do some good and make some marshes, why we have to change our tactic a little bit. And the bill itself was just going to shut down trapping on public lands, impaired waterways, and it was a huge stretch of ground that would have included. Trappers are my friends and some of the most respected people that I know. They're just quality folks. Every one of them, every good trapper I know is a quality individual, and they are in a super minority, and they don't get a protected class like some. But we're doing what we can down here to try to encourage them, to try to make sure that more damage isn't done to them. They're every bit as important as any other class of person, and we need those guys. We need those talented trappers when it comes times when we have predation problems, and we have them on a regular basis now. Folks, I'm going to sign off here. Ways and Means is having an in-person meeting tomorrow. That's Friday. And then there's another one the following Friday. The one tomorrow is in person. The one the following Friday is virtual. If you have capital construction ask, if you have dollar ask, sign up to get on those. If you haven't testified before and you need help, get a hold of my office. They can work you through that. We want everybody to be as well served as possible. I will tell you, they have had more requests for dollars this year than ever before, and it's highly competitive. So you have to make a good case as to why your project is important. Um, with that, I am signing off, and we will talk to you next week. Thank you all for all your support and all your help. Bye.